Yes. 3% of its body weight of dry matter intake. In the same time, we have that component of dry matter component. And dry matter content is what actually nurtures and facilitates her to one, put on weight, two, give you milk, three, reproduce. So not until you meet that, that you get the milk. Now, all these animals, we have dairy animals like Jerseys, Guernseys, Holstein Freisians, and Ayrshires. Here in Central and all over, we've been trying to promote Jersey and Ayrshire, simply because I talked of something to do with body weight. When you look at Holstein Freisians, they weigh up to 600 kgs, live body weight. If someone is going to take 3% of 600, and then you have like a Jersey that weighs averagely 400 kilos, live body weight, we have to find that the one taking care of a Jersey, we spend more little compared to the one who is feeding the Holstein Freisian. However, whenever you're keeping these dairy animals, we look at two things. There is what we call the quality and the quantity. The Holstein Freisian all over the world are well known for high volume or much volumes of milk. But then quality ways, and these are butterfat content issues now. They have very little butterfat content, usually around 3.5%. So we look at the Jersey and the Ayrshire. Ayrshire has around 4%, and the Jersey has around 6% butterfat content. And when you to take care of it, she will still take very little compared to the Holstein Freisian. So you go back based on what you have at the farm, based on the land intestine, which kind of feeds can I come up. But at least we have different feed resources. It's what we call the refuges. And refuges, we take now things like, that is napier. This is napier, and that is elephant grass, and it is elephant. So we have many varieties here. There are those that are called sugar napier that are grafted. We get our old napier, add it to Guyana. Guyana is good in terms of energy. Remember, these animals, whenever we're developing their ratio, we need to look at the 4 essentials of feed. Now that is protein, mineral, fat, and carbohydrates. So whenever you to come with a ratio or a feed, you must make sure that all those you're giving that animal. Yes. Now, from there, that is hay silage. And there are many varieties. Chikuyu, there is also good for the one which you can graze on, like a Panca maxima. The animals, you can, relieve them, and then they roam around within Panca maxima. And also even Chikuyu grass, you can do that. And Bracharia cicero, you can also do that. Then we also have, now these are under refuges and others. Then we have what we call the concentrates or the compound meals. Those 4 essentials that I've talked about, this is maize bran, and this is a good source of energy or carbohydrates. And those animals need, of course, carbohydrates, one, to gain energy and put on weight. And also, remember that animal will give you milk only and only if she had maintained if she had met actually her body maintenance. Then that's when she gives you milk. Other than that, she will not give you what you expect from her. So she first have to give. Though the logic in dairy is they are not supposed to be fattened, there is always a scale, and the dairy scale runs from 1 to 5. So whenever you measure its body condition score and it is around 4, 3.5, 4, a scale of that is obese in dairy animal, and their production is supposed to be low there. But at least, again, it shouldn't be so thin to 2.5. The average is always at least 3. A scale of 3 in terms of body condition score. Now these ones we mix and develop what we call a compound meal, a concentrate. I have my maize bran, I have my soybean for protein, then I have cotton seed cake, and then this was sunflower, then cotton seed cake. Now there is always a formula for each and every one, and those formulas we develop them based on the availability of feed resources that are on the farm. Each and every one of us who is doing dairy, you can develop your own ratio based on the feed resources that you have at the same time. So you have this, but ever and ever, always, it is the maize bran or broken maize or the energy sources that always takes a very big percentage, usually around 56 to 60% in 100 or in a ton. Then other things added. We have the premixes, they are here, and these are containing all the mineral supplements: calcium, magnesium, iron, zinc, selenium, and you may see these things they are in terms of when we are mixing, they are required in a very small amount, even in a ton or 100. But that even if it is 2 kgs in 100, they have a very high impact, even much better than the brand which takes 60%.
Are they made by
no, but we have a national plant, and there are other manufacturers, but maybe my team didn't talk about it. But we have a national feed mill plant situated in Kasole, that is Kamuli district. We also have a main feed mill plant in Entebbe, and we mix our own feeds, not only for animals, but also some for sale to the farmers. Yeah. Then the quality. On quality, the Ankole cow milk is perfect. It's far better. Actually, it's more or less the same as the milk for Jersey, a Jersey cow. I wish if you had a Jersey cow, just that he looks at it, because it gives us 6% butter fat, and that is almost the same as an Ankole cow. And also, with the practices that we've made, we had a program called Community-Based Breeding Program. We must have talked about it. And we were looking at, under that, there are a lot of trainings and helps that we've extended to farmers. And to farmers that we've been doing cross-breeding, personally I have that experience. When you cross a Frisian, say like you have 100% Ankole cattle or cow, you put there 100% semen of exotic, say a Frisian bull. The F1, what we call filial calculation 1, the F1, that is 50%. She's actually so productive on both quantity and quality, and more resistant. That's the comparison that I've made. And if you can try now to put there Ayrshire and Jersey, then it can be the best. Not to handle the two. But of course, quantity ways, looking at Ankole alone, of course, it has very small amount of quality. That we are doing genetic conservation of indigenous genetics. And we are doing the Ankole conservation, the conservation of longhorned cattle Ankole. And we're doing that in Ishara, that is Kaget, Ishara ranch, that is in Chiruguru. We have, I think, over 4,000 heads of cattle, Ankole. We are conserving that. Not only actual Ankole, but we're doing also the conservation of short-horned zebu in Aswan, that is Padel. So Nagric, in its mandate, has that commercialization, but also the conservation of the indigenous genetics.
And so the 4,000